From 1917 to 1918, the United States interned over 2,000 German merchant sailors in the small Appalachian village of Hot Springs during the First World War. For a year, the Germans carved out an existence for themselves on the grounds of the local Mountain Park Hotel. This is their story. When it was christened Fatherland in 1913, the latest ship of the Hamburg-America line was the biggest in the world, 20 feet longer than Titanic. The sinking of the White Star ship the year before had done nothing to slow the shipping industry's lust for bigger and more luxurious liners. In fact, the German fleet saw the Titanic sinking as its chance to gain superiority over the British, who had long held sway over the high seas. The Titanic disaster did, however, increase safety awareness, and Fatherland met the challenge with ample lifeboats and a telegraph room manned 24 hours a day. Fatherland boasted a length of over 200 feet and was able to hold a steady pace of 24 knots. Fatherland's new design had 2 funnel uptakes, allowing for the largest open areas ever on an ocean liner. The interior of the ship did not disappoint. Fatherland offered its 752 first-class passengers large staterooms with hot and cold running water, grand ballrooms, elegant dining, a fitness arena, Roman baths, and even an elevator. Fatherland also accommodated 535 second-class passengers and 850 in third class. To operate such a floating fortress, Fatherland employed a crew of over 1,200. Fatherland made its maiden voyage from Cuxhaven, Germany to New York in May of 1914. Americans came out in droves to see the modern marvel as Captain Hans Russer docked the behemoth at Hoboken Pier. Little did Russer know that the Fatherland would make only 4 passages across the Atlantic. By the end of June 1914, the winds of war had begun to blow. On June 28th, the Austrian Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated in Sarajevo by a young Serbian patriot named Gavrilo Princip. A month later, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, while Fatherland steamed towards New York on what would be its final voyage. By the time Fatherland took on passengers for the return to Germany, Europe's many alliances had dominoed into the First World War. On August 1st, Germany declared war on Britain and ordered all merchant ships to halt shipping until further notice. Fatherland would remain at its Hoboken Pier for almost 3 years. The crew of the Fatherland was forced to live on the ship. Their passports only allowed for short trips on shore, but America's many citizens of German ancestry allowed the Fatherland crew to enjoy themselves. The ship became the center of German-American society in New York. Captain Russer hosted tours of the Fatherland, and there was talk of using it to host a fundraiser for German relief. But pro-German sentiment in America began to wane as the United States drew near to entering the war. Events on the ship were forbidden, and the crew found themselves in increasing hostility. On April 6, 1917, Congress declared war on Germany. All German ships docked in American posts were seized, and their crews arrested. Those in New York, including the Fatherland, were taken prisoner and held on Ellis Island. The German-built Fatherland, rechristened Leviathan, would soon carry American doughboys to fight on the Western Front. The thousands of German merchant sailors were well taken care of, but the limited space and ease of escape caused the U.S. government to seek alternate accommodations. For Captain Russer's men, it would mean moving south.